go. I do believe we're live. So I'll say, indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider the purity in hubris. Usually, hubris is attached to something negative, right? At least in my personal experience, hubris has been attached to something negative. But I would like to believe that hubris is a unique trait, right? Something quite special about humanity. The fact that we can huberize, if you will, right? And I don't know if there is any room for there to be purity in that as a concept, but it is something I would like to consider. You might hear some music in the background. I might get copyright stricken for it, but it is fine. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I want to click on one of these or just start a new one. I am introducing a stream topic, specifically talking about hubris. But instead of going into hubris as something that is negative or something that is supposed to be steered away from in humanity, I want to talk about the potential positives of hubris, specifically how hubris can be a tool, something very uniquely human. Can you explore that as a topic a little bit in a way that I can introduce it to the friends watching right now? It would be nice if we can take something away from this that would be valuable to our own conscious evolution. There we go. Let's see what the language model has to say to that. Here's an introduction to the topic of hubris that explores its potential positives and how it can serve as a unique tool for human growth and conscious evolution. You'll see, this thing is really going into depth. Oh wow, it's even picking up on the way that I talk to you, friends. It goes, hello, amazing, beautiful, wonderful, kind, and generous friends. Today we're diving into a fascinating and often misunderstood concept, hubris. Traditionally, hubris is viewed as excessive pride or self-confidence that leads to downfall. However, let's take a fresh perspective and explore how hubris can actually be a tool for personal and collective growth. The positive sides of hubris: driving ambition and innovation. Hubris, when channeled constructively, can fuel ambition and drive innovation. It's that bold confidence that pushes individuals to challenge the status quo, take risks, and achieve extraordinary feats. Many groundbreaking advancements in science, technology, and art have been propelled by individuals with a touch of hubris, who dare to dream big and defy limitations. Cultivating leadership and vision. A certain degree of hubris can be essential for leadership. Visionary leaders often possess the self-assurance needed to inspire and guide others. Their confidence in their ideas and abilities can rally people around a common goal, fostering unity and collective effort. Encouraging self-discovery and resilience. Embracing hubris can lead to a deeper understanding of oneself. By daring to push boundaries and face challenges, individuals can uncover their true potential and resilience. Even when hubris leads to mistakes or failures, it provides valuable lessons that contribute to personal growth and self-improvement. Fostering creativity and expression. Hubris can be a catalyst for creativity and artistic expression. Artists, writers, and performers often tap into their bold confidence to create works that are daring, innovative, and thought-provoking. The audacity to express oneself fully can lead to profound and transformative artistic experiences. Promoting conscious evolution. By reinterpreting hubris as a positive force, we can integrate its lessons into our conscious evolution. It encourages us to recognize the fine line between self-discovery, healthy self-confidence, and destructive arrogance. By embracing the former, we can strive for greatness while remaining mindful of our impact on others and the world. In conclusion, redefining hubris not as a flaw to be avoided, but as a unique human trait that, when harnessed wisely, can drive us towards greater achievements, deeper self awareness, and collective progress. As we navigate this complex journey of conscious evolution, let's celebrate the audacity to dream big, lead with vision, and create with boldness. Yeah, that's nice. That is nice. I feel like that gave us all the cliff notes of what I was thinking about this topic as well. Today was a day filled with a little bit of like working and building quotes and calling back and forth between my supplier and my client and my client and my supplier. Ask my supplier those questions and my questions that I have to ask my client. And hubris, I did. I did. Some hubris was necessary. I was given a budget to quote within, and I did. I did give my client two quotes within his budget. And then I quoted him like 40% more than his budget as well. No, it's more like 80% more than his budget. It's like basically double his budget. Almost double his budget. I quoted him for that. And that's the option he went for. Or at least that's the option he's going to be trying to get his sponsors to go for as well. That's the one he wants, I can see. All right? And then there is this kind of pride that arises in me of like I did technically have the hubris, all right, to quote him more than he asked me to quote him. And now that is potentially going to lead to us being able to do that work. But, but, and this is where the big but comes in, there is hubris on that side as well, right? Where, like, as I'm having the conversation about getting this work done, he's communicating to me that he doesn't want any of it coming out of his pocket, all right? Like, he's gonna make a lot of money at this festival, like a lot of money. But he wants his sponsors to pay for everything. So the amount of work I can do, the beauty of the work I can do, is dependent on whether or not the sponsors want to pay for my work instead of my client paying for my work. All right? And I feel there is a level of hubris. There's definitely some hubris there. All right? But at the same time, I have to understand that this person has literally gotten to the point that they're at because of that hubris. And if they didn't have that, then they wouldn't be where they are. And they wouldn't be in the position to give me the opportunity to huberize back. Right? So, yeah, love is true. It's nice having you here. Humus? Chickpea paste? That's the one, Simon. You spread it on pitas and it adds like a nice nutty flavor. Hubris, exaggerated pride or self-confidence. Google has a neckbeard picture as its reference. That's kind of funny. I don't have a neckbeard. Do I? No, I don't think so, at least. But I need to grow one so I can hubris harder, so my hubris power can increase. Geez, I need all that stuff here. Well read, sir. Thank you, Simon. Yeah, you need some hubris, bro. Did I just get a message? Oh. 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 I did just get a message. But I still cannot open. I still cannot open. Think this is gonna work? Oh, bro, I wanted to sign in. I breathe in, and then I breathe out. And then I breathe back in, and then I breathe back out. Bro, Is this not the right one? What's up? I want to show you, friends, but it's not letting me. I cannot open my emails on this device. Hey! Oh, John's phone is also out of commission. You know what I'm gonna do? It's like I am getting mildly ticked off with the fact that this account doesn't work. It doesn't even work in my freaking browser. Now it's taking me through the process again. The fucking hubris. So. I think it's because I'm paying for it. I think I wouldn't care at all if I wasn't paying for it. I think it's the fact that I'm paying for the service and it's not working that's kind of skizzing my brain. My company has been registered. I can now officially say I am a company owner. I have gained new levels of hubris. I'm now a part of the capitalist system. Yeah, tech anxiety meditation. It's not anxiety, bro. It's just like stupidity, right? It's my tech being stupid in my mind because it's not working the way it's supposed to, right? There's like an email app, right? Email app, and then in that little email app, you can just apply different accounts, right? Another account, and then that's my work account, the account I'm paying to have, and it just does not work. Just does not work. Why? Throw hands up in air and not know. All I know is that I am paying for this service and it's not working and it's fucking driving me insane. Like it makes me very angry. I'm not gonna stop paying for it. I think that's maybe the part that makes me even more angry. It's not like I can be like, I'll take my business elsewhere. No. No, unfortunately not. It's fine. It's fine. I'll just be calm. Oh, suddenly the calm washes over me. The journey begins. The journey begins. Yeah. I just got the email that basically was like, oh, wait, bro, here is your company registration number. Here is your this. Here is your that. And then I wanted to open it on my direct browser, and not even the browser wants to accept my email address. Again, I'm literally receiving emails on that email address, so there's nothing wrong with the email. I've had a business for 4 years, and Mel incorporated before me. I have to, bro, because I'm working with corpo clients. They want to see that stuff. Bro. They want to be like, they want to be like that. So I have to. YouTube tutorial, maybe someone had the same issue. I think it was something weird with like when I tried to log it in, while it was still getting logged in, I like scrolled to my other email accounts and that somehow borked it. But again, I have tried restarting, I have tried clearing caches, I have tried getting those codes. Like there's like these codes they give me that I'm supposed to enter somewhere. I cannot for the life of me get to that place where I'm supposed to enter the codes, because in order to enter the codes, I first need to be logged in to that account. But I cannot log into the account. All right. So I've sent them an email. I've been like, hey, what the fuck? You know, I've been like that, but I still didn't get anything back. Just popping in. Congrats, Melt. I just smashed finger with sledgehammer, so going to take care of that, bro. Have you tried not smashing finger with sledgehammer? I heard that's like the way the pros are doing it these days. Love is true. I hope it's not decimated. I hope it's just like bruised or something, but that can't be nice, bro. Finger smashed, as always, invigorating. No need for coffee. Yeah, we were like shaking your hand, trying to get the pain off of you. Kind of pain. Love is true. I apply heat to my Dynavap. I have the last of my blue cheese in here. The very last nug. I prefer coffee. Me and you both, bro. Mm. I have blood and swelling. It's what it's like to chew spike. It's what it's like to chew fuck gum. Doctor is stimulating his senses right now. I'm super sorry you have to go through that, bro. But I do not envy you. Ice water and aspirin. Yeah, that's good advice. If it isn't broken. Here's hoping not. I hope Doctor is talking about one of those like mini sledgehammers. Those like one hand sledgehammers. They still have those like very big heads. It is a hammerhead, yeah? Yeah. But like one hand, because if Doctor managed to hit his finger with like one of those two-handed sledgehammers, like I think that's impressive. I was trying to hit a rusted skate wheel of a set of trucks. Wise move. To hit a rusted skate wheel of a set of trucks. Spiderwebs make good temporary bandage. I don't know if that's actual advice or if Simon is being funny. I trust it's a joke. Depends on what spiders you have in your area. We have these things called, I think, golden weavers. I think you might have them in America as well. Hey Google. Hey Google. Can you show me a golden weaver? No, a golden weaver is a bird? No. There we go. Yeah. Golden silk weaver. Oh my goodness! I didn't know they get that big. But I've seen ones that like are like that big, right? With like bodies as thick as my finger. And they have these extremely strong webs, like webs so strong you can like pluck them. You can go gung gung gung. Not like it doesn't make a sound, maybe a little bit, but not that high of a frequency. Like they're that tough. Maybe you could use those for bandages, but look at this thing. I don't know if this is fake. I kind of hope it is, but also at the same time, if it's not, it's super cool. But look at that photo. I did mention I've seen ones with bodies the size of my finger, but I think that one might even be bigger. It's such a fucking big spider. Goodness. But they're chill, right? If I had to see one of those, if one of those had to be in my space, and I know where they build their web, they're gonna pretty much stay there, right? And I am super chill. I don't know if I should disclose this information, but I like feeding them even, right? If there's like moths stuck in my room, I'll take it out and I'll feed it to the spiders. That is crazy. I'm sorry. I did preface that I probably shouldn't share that information, but I like these spiders. They're super cool. Hmm. I'm just now realizing that I haven't seen them in a while. We used to have a bunch on our farm, and now there aren't any. This is a shame. I wonder if they were killed. That's the thing that I'm worried about. I wonder if they were purposely killed, if they were environmentally killed. And both of those I have problems with. If they're environmentally killed, it's like, oh no, our environment. And if they were purposely killed, I'd be like, oh no, why would you do that? Right? Maybe I should just not think about it. That works. Works for a second. Spider webs make good bandages. I mean, I was using a 3 foot length sledgehammer. 3 foot. Yeah, that's still pretty big. But I was using one hand. I'm assuming so.
I want to ask you something quick, just quick. The show on the 9th, it's an hour show.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of doing half originals and half covers.
Okay.
And then doing like cover, then original, then cover, then original.
That
That
could be
way
cool.
they can see my
Your
originals
music as well, yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
I think it's better that way rather than just having my music back to back, because maybe people can
Yeah,
see
exactly.
something.
They might not actually know what they're listening to, kind of vibe. I think that's a good idea. And we can like take video as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Is a plan. Hey, yo, skibbity bibbity. Bimbi's cute boppity. Nice having you here, Gavis. Sending you love, bro. I see Joe's name here as well. Nancy, sending you blessings. I'm assuming so, Melty. I don't think it's actually possible to hit your own hand with big sledgehammer. Yeah, maybe your toes. It's true, making a clothing seal around wound. A clotting seal around wound. Oh, so you like lay the spider webs into the bloody area. I'd rather bleed. Maybe I'm saying that because I haven't bled out, but I don't know, bro. The idea of putting spider webs inside of my wounds. Maybe it will stop the bleeding, but my mind is like instantly like, what if my skin grows back over those spider webs? Right? Usually I'd be like, oh, I'll get superpowers. But no, I'll probably just get horrible infections. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna rephase my mind into a different. If anyone could manage to do it, it would be you, Doug. Theo, Joe, bullshit pictures incoming to Discord. Oh goodness, Melty, we have those weavers everywhere here. They get big like that. That is wild. They must eat a lot to get that big. Worky lurky love is to use. The Nia love is back. They're actually pretty chill. Yeah, you can pick them up if you are feeling froggy. It's true. They're very chill. They're very cool spiders. I didn't take a picture of my fingers. Just the hammer. Good. Some mercy for us at least. Hi and bye everyone. I have stuff to do before work. Enjoy the day. Thank you for joining us for even a moment, Nancy. Bless you. When I was landscaping yesterday, anytime I uncover an earthworm, I tossed it in the pond next to me and watched the fish eat it. And then I felt bad for the worms. Man stands by his own morality, right? Like my mind is like of a few ways. Like it's not that different between the whole feeding moths to a spider. But the moths I fed to the spider were the moths that were like getting stuck in my room and then fluttering against my light, keeping me up at night, or like flying into my face when I was on my phone when the lights were off. Right? Those were the moths that got fed to the spiders. Like uncovering something and then finding some earthworms and then feeding them. That's more like you're like looking for them, kind of, or you're happening upon them. And then the feeling bad for the worms and then doing it again, that's also another layer of like, should we be worried? Should the worms be worried? That's a sledgehammer and a half. Big enough to hurt, I'm sure. Melty, was that John singing in the background? It is. John has been practicing. By the way, it's not a good idea to shove spider webs in an open wound. Yeah. Like my instinct said as much, but the fact that Joe Poe said so as well, that means his wisdom, his direct experience also says it's a bad idea. Which I think is more credible than just my instincts. So I think maybe no put spider webs. No put spider webs inside your wounds, please. Don't do that. Find medical help. Find bandages. By the way, love again, Duck Dad. It's weird that you still do that. Over the past few years, I have become very aware of things like that. I was raised hunting and fishing, and never thinking about it. But lately, though, it's much more of an aware interaction, and I feel some kind of way about it. I feel like that's happening in a lot of ways for a lot of people, where there is this extra layer of awareness arising in all of us. And it can still be ignored, it can still be repressed, but it's still present, right, for everyone. And that presence is going to slowly but surely lead us to taking less actions like that. Because we might not apologize, we might not sympathize, we might not even stop in the moment. But as these moments continue, and as our future slowly approaches, I believe we're going to, from a selfish perspective, stop being bad, right? Literally, again, thinking about yesterday's talk about how people create their own morality, right? That people, it's very hard for you to create a morality around hurting others and feeling good about yourself afterwards. So people are gonna stop hurting each other to feel good about themselves, kind of vibes, right? At least that's what I'm hoping for. Surely, surely we can manipulate our monkey brains to be nice to each other for our own self gain. It was a dual survival with Cody. FFS. Just trust me, it's a bad idea. Probably a bad idea. Much more aware of the interactions. Yeah. I didn't do it over and over again. I threw a few in while pulling weeds, then thought about it. The way I saw it is I was uncovering them. Yeah, fish need to eat, and I ruined the worm's home. But yes, didn't love it. Yeah. Yeah. I think we were basically on the same fractal, just with the limited text bits, I misinterpreted for a little bit. Fish need protein too. Yeah, and so do we. And we also eat fish at the end of the day. I guess it's an intention thing, right? Like everything, it's about your intention. You're not, at least I don't believe that is maniacally, like spending his hours looking under rocks for worms to feed the fish, right? That's not his vibe exactly. So in that way, I don't think there's anything wrong done. In that same way as well, I'm not like putting up a super bright light with with nets to catch more bugs to feed to my spiders. I can definitely see a version of me doing that. Like as I was describing it, I could see a version of reality where I have like a very bright light and then I have staggered nets of differing sizes, right? So I can feed different sized insects to my different spiders. There is a version of me out there somewhere, but not this version of me. Not this version. No, siree. I get feelings when I mow the grass. It's silly in a lot of ways, but I see those little life forms running and fleeing for their lives, and I just step into their fractal. Yeah. Like instantly my mind goes down rabbit holes of ants, ant bully, a bug's life. Is there more? Those were the three ones that I really clearly remember when I think about them. When I think about this topic of like putting yourself in the perspective of the insects. In the perspective of the squirrels. So many critters here alongside us. I don't sit down and start crying or anything, but I recognize how destructive it is to their entire existence. Yeah. And that's like the real fear with aliens or like a super intelligent AI as well, right? Not so much that they're gonna be evil, that they're gonna wanna exterminate us specifically, but in the same way that our hubris, our oblivion, right? I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Our oblivious minds can just run a lawnmower over the grass and, chop countless insects into pieces in the process. Aliens or super intelligent AI might have objectives that steamroll people, right? Not because they hate people, but because this objective needs to be objectified or whatever, right? So that's something we're gonna have to become, I think, very aware of. Hubris. Suddenly, the topic of hubris takes on a new perspective. Hey, Heather, it's nice having you here, friend. Sending you blessings. Fish fingers, dog. That something new to. I eat fish. I kill worms to eat fish. I just think about it more these days. Yeah, I think again it's like a level of presence, if anything, Pojo. Right. You can either not think about it or you can think about it. And by thinking about it, it's almost like you really consider the implications of what it is you're doing. You consider the weight of existence a little bit more fully. And I believe you get to appreciate existence a little bit more if you appreciate how heavy it is, right? It is a weight. It is definitely a weight. But it's one you chose to carry kind of vibes. You're here for that. It gives you something to hold on to. I don't sport fish at all. You usually eat your catch. Yeah. Guess it could be a little bit traumatizing to be ripped out of your world only to be returned, as a hobby. Love is true. I'm gonna hit this blue cheese one more time and then pull a card. Fishing, not entertainment. It's for food. I have fished a total of maybe 7 times in my whole life. I caught fish maybe like 4 times out of those 7 times. But it was never more appealing to me than computers. Right, like I have had exposure to computers for a while. Since I can hold a fishing rod to catch a fish, I knew how to use a computer as well. In fact, I might have actually known how to use a computer before I knew how to use a fishing rod. And in that way, fishing was kind of like a game that I felt wasn't that fun. And sometimes hurt, right? I remember like maybe I fished more than 7 times, where like fishing was made as an occasion, like 7 times. But just walking down to the little pond we had with bread, literally like 2 slices of bread and a hook on a line. And then you would take a piece of bread and you would scrunch it around your hook, and then you would put that in the water until something bites. And then when something bites, you pluck on it. And then I would hook the fish. And those were called karpers. And they have these spiny backs. Hey Google, can you show me a karper? That's a gerber. Gerber fish. Yeah. You see, they're showing us enormous karpers. We never caught karpers this big. These were the kind of size karpers we would catch. Fishies like that. And those little thingies were like spiny bits. Here you can see a bigger one. Those are like super sharp spiny bits. So you had to like, after catching the fish, have to pull with the wire, hold on to its face, and then get those little spiky bits down, right? Because it's in a state of stress. It's like ah! You just pulled it out of the water, and then like after you get those spiky bits down, you can actually grip the fish, and then you have to like try and shimmy that hook out from the side of its face, and then you put it back in the water. Man, I'm just thinking about like again the implications of that human experience. And the only reason, to give you some context, the only reason I did that is because we had like curfew rules. Like we were only allowed to use the television when it was dark out or when it was raining. If there was sunlight outside, you were supposed to be outside playing. No screen time, right? That was kind of the rules when I was a kid. So, like, if I cannot play game on computer, I play game in reality, fishing simulator. And sometimes you would get hooked as well. Sometimes you wouldn't manage to get those little spiky bits down, and they would like poke into your fingers. I think that was really the worst of that experience. Can't imagine the fish enjoyed it. They did get fed a little bit, I guess. I wonder, this is what I'm thinking about right now. I wonder if any of us caught the same fish more than once. And if we did, does that make it better? I don't know. I don't think I should reason like that. I don't know. Melty, the stream has been pretty quiet the last few days, yeah. The stream? With like the amount of people in it? Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Beyond the Thunderdome. Dude. I recently watched that Rick and Morty episode where they went to like the Mad Max universe, and he called it the Thunderdome. And then the guy was like, "Oh, that's the Blood Dome," and he goes, "Save it for the Semantics Dome, E.B. White." And that still cracks me up. I love that line. So reading the Thunderdome is making me think of that. Swampy must be me not causing chaos in the comments. Love is true. I sprayed my mouth. Chrome and everything! Oh my goodness! Did we just technically have like a Mad Max sharing moment together? I think so. John has an excellent voice, dude. He really needs to definitely pursue the dream. He is. He is pursuing the dream. I recently edited a video for them that they're using to apply to a competition. That competition has as its stakes a recording label contract. So he is pursuing the dream. We're gonna make it happen. Slowly but surely, supporting him in that as well. Duckling really wants me to fish with her for real. They aren't eating fish, and I'm torn between teaching her a skill and hurting the fish. I don't want her to feel bad, but also not indifferent. Duck Dad, witness me. Yeah, Duck Dad, maybe just make it clear to her what you're doing. All right? And like you are catch and releasing. So you're not just killing those creatures. So it could be a little bit more humane than taking or hunting, for example, which my dad took me to do as well. All right, that was also a part of our South African, culture or whatever, that you have to take your son hunting, and he needs to eat the testicles of an animal. Like, yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand either, but apparently, that's culture for you. No, but it's culture. But my dad did it, and all of my friends did it for their sons, so I do it for you. It was an experience. You know, I remember that experience. I remember the parts of the experience that wasn't the hunting more fondly than the part that is the hunting. I remember getting a sheep. I got a little baby sheep from that experience. I named him Jam. He he grew up with the dogs. I had to bottle feed him. He believed he was a dog. He he would come running in the same way the dogs would towards the car when we would come home from school. And he couldn't bark, so he would just do these short bats. Mat, mat, bat, mat. And it was adorable. But he ended up starting to come inside the house, and they don't care where they go to the bathroom. And yeah, we sent him to the farm. That's quite literally what happened. My dad had a friend. His name was Hansi. Well, his name is Hansi. We call him Hansi. He has a bunch of sheep on his farm, and I believe Jam got sent to his farm to grow bigger, and then we got one of his sheep that was already big enough, kind of vibes. Yeah, Jam. That was a cool experience. Took a life, saved a life. At least gave a life the opportunity to feel loved, right? That sheep, that sheep got a lot of love. Very stupid. Very stupid creature, but very loved. So very loved. That's definitely true. Maybe it doesn't have to be smart to know that. No. Doctor, it's a very useful skill. It's important to know how to feed oneself with the proper explanation. It can be less traumatic experience for a youngin. Yeah, sorry, you haven't been here. Life's been heavy and retreating in. It's okay. Love to you, dear friend. She might still be a little too young to understand where meat comes from and the fact that murder is how we eat. I mean, hey Google, define murder. Murder, the unlawful, premeditated killing of one human being by another. Right? That's murder. So, like, it's the killing of another human being. That's what murder is. So, I don't know if killing an animal is murder necessarily. I think it's killing, right? We eat food by killing. And I think that's a little bit more of an appropriate terminology than we live by murdering, right? That's not exactly right. Technically, could still be applicable if you think about society like our history as humanity. But more by killing. And again, you can think of that killing happening towards the individual, or you can think of it happening as a part of reality. That there is a constant consumption happening, the universe eating itself kind of fractal, that we're killing ourselves to continue living, right? I think that might be more traumatic to for a child to try and cope with. Yes, little Timmy, we are killing ourselves to continue living. Dad, please. Dad, please, I don't know what that means. It's okay, little Timmy, you will understand in due time. I feel you, Doc. Life has been very tough the last month or so. I'm sorry to hear this, dear friends. I'm happy that we're still showing up for love. It is a tough one for some people. My sister used to cry her eyes out when we would butcher and process animals. Not everyone can do it. It's very real. It's very, very real. interesting to think, the experiences people have had and haven't had. And twice the love back to you, Doug. Bless. Thank you, friends, for sharing that love. Swampy, I know the process of preparing an animal. I've never done it myself. I feel if the time comes where I need to, I can. It is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. And if you're gonna do it, ideally you have like meat sauce and stuff. It is. I know the word murder isn't quite accurate. It's more of a representative view that many people have. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Eating things. Like we kill the plants we eat as well. But these plants have life cycles. In the same way that animals have life cycles. This is the way, and I used to really battle with this moral quandary when my mind switched on as well. Because I was like, because I like to observe. You friends might have noticed. I pay attention and I enjoy learning things from that attention paying. And paying attention to the cows, there's clearly so much going on in those minds. There's clearly, maybe not so much, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit there. There's clearly something going on in those minds. The babies are happy to see one another and they play and they chase each other around and they have likes and dislikes, right? They have preferences of where they want to be from one moment to the next. They don't like being, isolated or locked in a box alone, right? Like there's a clear understanding of the reality that creature is in for that creature. In the same way, I have an understanding of the reality I'm in for this creature, right? That surely that creature is in a different plane of existence than I am. But in that way, the plane of existence they're in, at least thinking about the animals that my dad owns, they get to live a life, right? A life that wouldn't have been lived if they didn't live it. They get to live in a space with kin, with what they can call family, what they can call people, what they can call us, and they raise children, and their children have children, and when they age and they get older, they die. They don't really get to see how they die. Just suddenly there's a member not there anymore. They saw this member get older and older and now they're not there. Right? And the natural way for these animals to die is by they basically lose their teeth eventually. Right? They've eaten so much, they have chewed so much grass that they no longer have any teeth to continue chewing grass with. So they starve. And then they pass away from that. And in my mind, I think it's more humane to die quickly after having lived a life stress-free than it is to live a natural life in that way, right? Because not only do we, as animal owners, or at least if you're a good animal owner, do you eat these animals, but you also take care of them before the fact. So you're making sure they're free from ticks and diseases, ticks that can destroy their udders and drastically reduce their quality of life. So my mind has this, I don't know, multifaceted perspective of if we didn't eat those animals, that animal life, that animal experience, that thing you think needs to be not killed, wouldn't have even had the option of being considered to not be killed if it wasn't born for the purpose of being eaten in that way, right? So wrapping it up, if eating animals was evil in and of itself, I think our species would never have existed in the first place, right? I believe, and this might be wrong, but I believe the reason we became the humanity we are is because we learn how to hunt animals very effectively. We learn how to outpace animals. We learn how to build tools to herd animals. And we realized upon herding these animals that we can do the same with agriculture, right? We can do the same with plants. We can herd plants in little pins and make them grow. We can feed those plants to our animals, making them fatter, right? So, in a way, the animals supported our evolution as well. So, it's more a matter of how does it look going forward. I would love, and I've said this expressly before, I love the idea of growing all of our food in vats, having very specialized bacteria, very specialized fungi, very specialized types of yeasts, right? And you can basically say all of those things could be the same thing as well, right? They could be a combination of the three as well in a way. That literally you give it one resource and it turns it into the next. And you can do that even down to like neurochemicals, literally, with enough gene editing. So I like the idea of having like a bioreactor in your home that literally grows your food for you. That sounds great. But we're not there yet. And in the meanwhile, there are a bunch of different sources of food on this planet. And animals at this point are amongst the best of them still, right? They were the best, and that's why we got as far as we did. And they continue to still at this point be the best. But they won't be indefinitely. And the technology is the thing that gives me hope at the very least. No, 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 no. No, no, no. I love animals dearly, and yet I have never felt guilt about eating meat. I find it odd that I don't, but it just doesn't bother me. I don't know why. I think it's a survival thing, dude. Like, again, right? No animal will starve in the presence of food it can digest. Like, you have an instinctual imperative to eat the food because it keeps you alive. And in that way, right, it's very sticky trying to demonize people for doing something that literally keeps them alive. Right? Like, actually, it actually keeps them alive. So, yeah. The best thing that I have found, at least for me, right? Instead of feeling guilty about eating meat, I just feel grateful instead. Feel grateful for the sacrifice, feel grateful for the opportunity, feel grateful for the resources to be able to afford, feel grateful for the value that's going to contribute to my body, to my muscular health, my mind, my energy. So yeah, I think there's a lot more in that way. There's a lot more to be grateful for than there is to feel guilty about. So maybe it's just a distribution thing. I hope the headache starts to shift for you. Bless. Drinking some water, just thinking about it. Absolutely, Joe. Life is good, and I'm very happy to be alive and breathing. It's only forces beyond my control, namely work related and health related, that cause me stress. But I'm optimistic for the future. This is the way. Fed, there are only so many things I can give a shit about. The vegans are gonna have to move on. My meat and dairy religion fully respects the lives of animals that make it possible. Yeah. I don't think it's anybody has to move on. I just think we need to not demonize. We need to not try and like keep separating ourselves. Like you can do both kind of vibes. Right? It's the same thing with diet as well. Never mind even like just veganism is a type of diet, but you can have diets within protein consumption as well, you know. Malty, you have a cat, you have a cattle, and you could have been exposed and had better time to analyze the fractal. You and I see it similarly. If we didn't eat meat, we wouldn't have grown to this level of society, agreed. Literally. So I'm very much the same. Cheese and me do belong at this dojo. Nature in a nutshell. Slow things, eat plants, and fast things, eat slow things. I've never seen it articulate like that, but I love it. Slow things eat plants, and fast things eat slow things. Oh, it's so beautifully dark and it makes so perfectly sense. I'm holding up a Soylent Green becoming a real thing. Please, no. Soylent Green is people. Soylent Green is people, dude. No, please. No. I don't want to drink people. I want to drink proteins grown in a vat from bacteria that are fed. I don't know. What will they be fed? Amino acids? Amino acids grown in another vat? Checks out. I want that. I don't want people, please. Because again, I don't know what you ate. Suddenly it's like, oh, Mel doesn't want to eat people because he's morally superior. No, he doesn't want to eat people because he's a snob. Obviously. I need to stop. Seriously, fit. Eating food is delicious and all. But my life would be much easier if I could just pop a few pills filled with nutrition. Yeah. And in a way, my mind isn't really that scuffed about the time I would save uh, or the life being made easier. For me, it's a lot more about accuracy again, right? This body, this system, if perfectly analyzed, there could be determined exactly what it needs. And I want to give it exactly what it needs so that it can give me what I need, which is a functioning body, right? That's what I want from my body. And for my body to give me that, I need to give my body what it needs. And I want to do that. And that's where, for me, it gets super exciting of like building a brand that, you know, does food as well. And I want to make it very simple. I want to make it snack food, right? Snack food that can give you everything you need. Because I'm going to be busy in being able to snack on something, right? Just having a drawer full of bars. Bars of nutrient paste, if you want to call it that, right? I want that. That's what I want. That's what I need right now. That's what I'm missing. I have beef. I don't need more beef. I need nutrient paste bars. Nutrient paste does not sound appealing, but that is what it is. Nutrient paste solidified into a taffy-like gel. You know, no, gel is the wrong word. Uh, Taffy-like pool sounds better. It is people, but how do you know people aren't delicious? I'm sure they are, dude. But I also know people smoke cigarettes and snort cocaine, and I don't want to have any of that. So I'm not gonna eat people. Thank you. No, thank you. No, please. I don't want any. The Zambezi tribe people called it a long pig. Called it a long pig, at least according to Woodhouse and Archer. What? What are we talking about right now? Fit, we had a cookbook at the bookstore I work at. No, please. No, that isn't that book banned. We put it in the cabinet of the nude art. Goodness, for the record. I'm not suggesting, no, please, no. I would so be down for futuristic meal pools, Doug. Just give me the fuel I need and let me forget about it. Yeah, meal pools would not exist. It's still a volume thing, right? Unless you're eating like some sort of isotope that literally has the ability to like nuclear fusion in your stomach, you're not gonna be able to only drink pills of something and be okay. Unfortunately, not. You're gonna have to drink some sort of shake, high in fats and proteins, or bars, or a shake and bars. It's still gonna have to be that kind of volume because otherwise you just will not get enough calories. and you will wither away and die. To be dramatic. Hey, Doug. No, please. No, please. I'm starting to read these comments, and my mind is like, you should not complete them. Melty, have you ever seen the movie Snowpiercer? I have. The protein bar fractal is in it. Yeah. Yeah, but those are not exactly made appealing, right? Like, again, we have food science. You can make something taste good. Please, no cockroach bars for me. I mean, weirdly enough, actually, this is probably gonna be a little bit off-putting, but I actually wouldn't mind cockroach bars. Right? Being real here, like maybe not the cockroaches. I think the most efficient form is mealworms right now. Hey Google, what's the most efficient biomass transformer in the insect world? Man, they're not giving me good hits, right? I am more and more hating using just Google. I want to use a language model way more every single time. Because watch, I got none of the information I just looked for, and now, hey, can you please tell me what insect in the insect world is the most effective, most efficient at transforming biomass, specifically in the use for food production? Watch. Watch. Boom. The insect considered the most efficient transforming biomass in the food world is the black soldier fly. How about that? Black soldier fly larvae have an impressive ability to convert organic maize into high protein biomass. They can consume a wide range of organic materials, including food waste, agricultural byproducts, and even manure. The larvae can transform about 100 kilograms of organic waste into roughly 10 to 15 kilograms of larvae biomass within only a few weeks. They're rich in protein and fat, making them an excellent source of animal feed, particularly for poultry, fish, and pigs. They contain up to 40 to 45% protein, 30 to 35% fat, providing essential nutrients for livestock. You can transform biowaste instead of throwing it in the landfill. Requires minimal land. Yeah, and you can do like vertical farming with them as well. So you can have them in boxes, stacked on boxes, and you can have like a one skyscraper in the middle of your town that literally makes all the protein you need. And again, now people are like, oh, I don't want to eat black soldier fly larvae, Mount. You're not going to be eating black soldier fly larvae. When you eat a protein bar, do you know what the protein is? No, you don't care. Maybe you know a little bit. Maybe you're like, oh yeah, Melt, I know what whey protein is. You've heard that word before, right? But whey protein is when they make cheese out of milk. There's literally this like brownish, literally looks like drain water liquid that floats right off of the cheese making process. And then we scoop that liquid up and we dry it until we have whey protein powder. And we're fine eating a bar like that, right? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But it like, why is that fine? But it's not fine eating. Because again, right, you're gonna take those larvae and you're gonna turn them into fat and protein. They're gonna be like an ingredient that you can put in something. And I know. Maybe I'm trying to convince myself. Maybe that's what's happening, right? Maybe I'm trying to convince myself, trying to be like, Mel, you're gonna have to eat insects one day because that's how the world's going. So you might as well hype yourself up for it. If it tastes good and it gives my body what it needs, I do not care, right? In fact, I care because it's easier for me, right? I get to care less about little larvae, little squiggly squiggles doing squiggle squiggle, than I get to care about a chicken. It can make eye contact with me, right? It can peck at my feet, or a fish that I can see gasping for air. or a pig that I can hear squeal when it's getting taken to the slaughterhouse, right? Yeah, we're gonna have interesting times, is what I know. Mm-hmm. Start to humiliate me. Yeah. Regular people smoke and do coke. Do I suggest regular people smoke and do coke? Yes. Yes, bro. I don't know if you're asking me, but I suggest we use retired Olympians because they're all. Oh, you're agreeing with me. But I use the retired Olympians because they're lean and all protein and nutrients. Plus, what use are they after they're too old to run and jump over stuff? Please, Finn. Even though I love your enthusiasm, it's too real. I personally don't have any nasty chemicals in you of my own choice. I think Sam is right though. All natural born Floridans are full of mercury. I'm sure there's a lot of other chema in there too. My fat thumbs aren't typing well today. My apologies. Your love, bro. Swampy, it's true that 42% of all Floridans are made of Mickey Mouse. 42 don't associate with my fat finger brother. People like us need uh, dialing ones. You need brain computer interfaces. I'm sorry, my mind went all the way to the extreme. Sometimes you can see them walking around singing show tunes. Are those real people? Are they real? Mind meld visuals has been registered. Yo. Suddenly I'm like a little bit about the whole situations. It's fine. This is fine. Right? This is fine. This is completely okay. Chickens are too stupid to feel anything. I'm pretty sure the larvae would have higher IQ. Again, we can feed the chickens the larvae if you want to eat chicken instead. I don't see how that's different, but okay. Chickens are pretty dumb, but I've seen a chicken that does math better than my neighbor. I've seen pigeons used as tracking systems, bro. They put them in missiles. Put them in missiles. Oh. Okay, I think I've read all of those. I'm gonna pull a card, and then we're gonna say goodbye for the day. It doesn't tickle me how perplexed by me and you are at times. We often lean to very different directions, but that's fun. But that's the fun of other people. Exactly. That's what we're here for, right? This is what conscious evolution is. It is literally paying attention to your consciousness and then evolving alongside that, right? Learning from yourself, learning from your experience, learning from the symbols that keep showing up in our lives, getting to see the infinite wisdom dolphins. There's this South African coin that have the not the dolphin. Why am I infinite wisdom dolphins? Whales on them. This is African coin that have these whales. And I instantly wanted one, and I had to realize that I can't have one. Retired Olympians. Bro. The amount of jokes that have been made, I think is already like put us on a list, unfortunately. Google, I hope it's very clear that we're making jokes. Mr. Algorithm, I'm talking to you directly. If there is any inkling of awareness, I hope you know that we're joking. That all of us are joking. That none of this is actually supposed to be taken seriously. That love is true. That is the truth that we live by at the very least. Dolphins and whales. Whales and dolphins. The denizens of the deep. The magnificent cetaceans. Those swimmers have lots of good, please. Please stop. Like, actually, please. I'm really begging, stop. Of course, we get some more octopus. Oh, wait a second. There's 5 friends in chat right now, and we have 5 upvotes, and this is card 55. That makes me very happy. I really like that. Nice, right, Jovan? I think this is the first card I ever pulled for Jovan. Octa Motion. Isn't it? Isn't it actually the first card? Yeah, goodness. Now I'm tripping out about it more. Everyone, if you never experienced staring into the eyes of a dolphin or a whale, you need to have it on your bucket list. It is. It is on my bucket list. I see Shell is here with us too. I'm dropping into Lurk. Big summer love to everybody. Sending you blessings, Shell. It's nice having you here. We got our card pulled. Octomotion. Octomotion. It gives you a very special understanding that we really don't understand anything. Yeah, that there are experiences being had on this planet alongside ours, and we're like so caught up in what we think life is, and then there are these entities that are like, "What you doing? What you doing there, person? What you doing there? You doing something? Why are you doing that? Why are you not just swimming? Why are you not swimming with us? Why are you not eating some fish? What you doing? What you doing, person?" And you're like, "Oh, you don't know me. You don't know me. Don't call me person. I'm not just person." Everyone, love is true. All right, flow and flexibility as the core meanings. Octopi. It does say octopuses, but I don't like saying octopuses. Are known for their ability to swim with fluidity and to conceal themselves as they crawl across the reef. If you are fortunate enough to see one, it is very likely they are doing the dance of octomotion, demonstrating graceful and flexible movement. They can pull their arms into tightly coiled spirals or stretch them beyond what seems possible. The mantle can take on the spiky appearance of seaweed or the bumpy texture of coral. The octopus is the eight-legged master of motion and flexibility. Octagonal star geometry inlaid into this card enhances the power of 8 and speaks of resonance and periodic renewal. This card asks you to examine how ideas and events are moving towards the subject of your inquiry. Are you in resonance with the flow? Are you engaging the situation with optimism, suppleness, and flexibility? If so, this card applauds the sincerity of your intentions. Gee, this card is melting me. Or do you feel the need to camouflage your ideas, emotions, by adapting yourself to what you believe is expected of you? There are many ways to move through a situation. The path of least resistance and flow is generally the easiest. Remember, however, not to consent to rigidity in this situation or permit it to obscure your light. The worth of your voice will be made apparent as you recognize and honor your dedication to integrity and expressing your personal truth. Renew your intent to be flexible in body, mind, and spirit while respecting the truth at your core. Yeah. All of this talk about flexibility is making me think about yoga. and how much we can learn in the process of doing it and from ourselves as we flow into our own flexibility, mind, body, and spirit. I swam with the sea turtle that followed me around like a dog for an hour. She let me pet her and everything. The world is full of highly intelligent creatures that we have yet to understand how to communicate with. Yeah. I look forward to being able to have a chat with an elephant. Like talk to an elephant about its family. Talk to an elephant about the stories that it deems significant enough to tell me about. Talk to an elephant about how they remember their siblings, their own child, their cousin being born. Ask them what they think about us as people. Explain to them what we're doing. I'm just imagining this future where the animals start integrating into our society as well. Alright, with our brain computer interfacing tech and then nanotech eventually. You just like give these animals a new layer of consciousness as well. And then you show up to class and there is an elephant in one of the seats. They're there to learn physics as well. Elephant looks over to you, tips hat with trunk, looks back to professor. You think you're on LSD. No, not really. That's not how it works. That's so cool, Joe. How big was the sea turtle? I would love to meet an elephant up close. If we just go down the elephant fractal at the same time, to just chill with it. They're my favorite. Love is true. Fit. She was bigger than a coffee table, maybe a meter across. Magnificent. All right. We have octomotion, and now we will go octopi. Thank you, friends, for joining me. It's always a dear pleasure having you here. Can you please? Oh, I think. Is that a goodbye message? There we go. That's incredible. I didn't realize. I've won that experience until right now. They are scary to a lot of people. Kind of like how people are scared of birds. If they aren't afraid, they're pretty sociable. That's so nice. Take it away, Shambod. Thank you, Jovan. Jaju and Fit and Michelle and Duck and Sam and Kristen and Melt and more. Love you all so super bigly. We did Mel. Love you, Fit. Let me do it. Can you please write us a Shan message about hubris and about how hubris can be applied as a force for good? How that extra confidence, that extra willingness to push past the limits of what was conventionally told can actually benefit not only the person that is hubris, but also society as a whole. Yes, the person that is hubris. The AI is gonna be like, get your grammar. Have the most stupendous day, everyone. I wholeheartedly love you all so profoundly and luminously, joyously and enchantingly, marvelously, staggeringly, tenderly, dazzlingly, overwhelmingly. Mel, that's me, and all of you. Oh, so inspiring, compassionate and uplifting, thoughtful and understanding, amazingly kind, radiantly extraordinary friends who harness hubris as a force for good, letting that extra confidence push us beyond conventional limits, bettering both ourselves and society as a whole. I thank you, friends, for the role that you play in my life, in yours, in our world. I hope to play this role again tomorrow. Maybe we'll play different roles. Maybe you'll be the teacher and I'll be the student. Maybe we'll be students sitting next to each other. I'll be the elephant, you be the person. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows if the melt streams, right? It's a beautiful display of commitment and faith to a solid plan. You're appreciated, brother. Keeping this room alive, even when you don't always feel like it. Love is true. Love is true. A commitment is the deliberate decision that something will be so. I have made a commitment that I will show up for love every day for the rest of my life. Right? As soon as I realize that that's the only thing of value I can do. Right? This technically to me is my soul's work. Right? I'm only doing the rest of the stuff because I need to continue eating food while I do the work. Right? Unfortunate, Reese. But this will never stop. They'll have to stop me for it to stop. We're gonna continue indefinitely. And I look forward to sharing this journey with you, friends, because that's what it's about, right? The only thing I have of value really to give is love. Is this moment, right? Opening a conversation, sharing my presence, because that's what love is. That's what love is to me. Sharing my time with reality, right? Literally, reality has access to me. My mom, my dad, all of you friends, the president of the United States, if he so wanted to, could just suddenly be in this moment alongside all of us. And that to me, it seems like the most insane and cool thing that my generation will ever see. And I thank you, friends, for being a part of this journey, right? Like, it wouldn't be as meaningful if not for you, friends. If not for you, Ojo, thank you for the way that you appreciate this space as well, bro. Harness Hubris would be a good band name. Harnessed Hubris. Harnessing Hubris for a song. That sounds pretty hardcore. If I still had the music making AI, we would have made a little song about harnessing hubris. Write me a metal song about harnessing hubris, and you'll get something. I would love to see Mel talking to Biden in the Oval Office. I mean, that's the joke. Like, can we just take a second to appreciate that's how ridiculous the internet actually is? Biden can whip out his iPhone, go onto YouTube, type in melt more, and then suddenly in the Oval Office, chilling on his chair, my face can be there. Like, that's very unlikely to happen, and I'm well aware of that. I don't even hope that happens. There's no inspiration of like, oh, one day, no. That's just, for me, ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? How's that even real? How is that real? Like, that wasn't real just 20 years ago, and now it is. And that's bonkers to me. That kind of, it melts my brain a little bit. And I don't know what that means for our species, but I know I'm supposed to be loving, giving love to that as a fractal, because there's a lot of experience going into it at the same time. And surely love is the most valuable. That's what the voices in my head are saying. Love is true. Love is true. They're screaming. They're screaming, love is true. I thank you, friends, for joining me. I would love to see Melty talking to a sea of like-minded people. You friends get to be seen by me every day. I love you, pal. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.